Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, again, I'm playing Vintage. This is from Patreon subscriber Serial, who wanted to see more Vintage on the channel in the run-up to Eternal Weekend, and I'm happy to oblige once again. Going to be a little bit of a Vintage-heavy week this week. Eternal Weekend is coming up for me. You all see these about a week and a half after I record them, and when this goes live, I believe I will be on my way to Prague. So my time for testing has already passed, and I'm doing it now from the past for you in the future. And this is a very important deck that I have not yet played on the channel. This is Dimir Lurrus control. This deck is in kind of a weird, sneaky little spot where MTG Goldfish doesn't actually have a category for it, even though it is regularly crushing all of the leagues and challenges. This deck is everywhere, but if you were just not really sure what's going on in Vintage and just went to the MTG Goldfish metagame, you just would not see this deck. Just a weird little data categorization gap that might actually affect the Eternal Weekend metagame or testing process for folks who aren't tuned into Magic Online. I think this deck is very cool on its surface. We've got Lurrus of the Dream Den, one of the most powerful Magic cards ever printed, as the companion. And 4 copies of Orcish Bowmasters are our primary threats in the deck. Urza Saga's here, and then we have Time Vault and Manifold Key. There is no Tinker here. We're not doing that. We have to tutor the key and draw the Time Vault, but this deck, like most Xerox decks, is built to just make the game take longer and be disruptive to everyone. The full boat of Wasteland and Strip Mine are here. Got main deck Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce on top of Force of Negation and Force of Will. We're just trying to park the bus. Nobody's allowed to play Magic, and our little nickels and dimes are Orcish Bowmasters with Time Twister as a payoff for Bowmaster. That could be an extra 14 damage out of nowhere with a single Bowmaster. Double that if you have 2, you're dead. And you got to respect the Urza Saga creatures and the Bowmaster pings and the possibility of Time Twister. Oh, but also we're working towards Time Vault, and just Lurrus hanging out in the command zone, waiting to show up and start drawing extra cards in the mid to late game, or play extra Bowmasters. This is a smooth murder machine, and I know a lot of heavily invested Vintage players are high on this deck going into Eternal Weekend. I would like to play it here and see how I feel about this. Let's jump into it. This is Dimir Lurrus. 3-for-1 Trading is one of Europe's leading Magic the Gathering retailers. Their online shop has a fantastic selection of high-end Magic cards, especially for Vintage, Legacy, and Old School players. They now exclusively offer the BoshNRoll community free, fully insured, and fast worldwide shipping on all their high-end singles, full sets, and out-of-print sealed product. They upload new cards every Wednesday with weekly sale offers and reductions. Use my code BNR0723 to get free worldwide shipping on your first order over €341, approximately $380. Scan the QR code or go to shop.3for1trading.com. I'm on the draw in round 1. I have turn 1 Ancestral Recall plus Wasteland with Force Backup. Yeah, keep. Or turn 1 Bowmaster with Force Backup. Save my Ancestral for later. Just, I got options here. Top bottom to Preordain, play to Mox Sapphire, and they're passing. I am not allowed to Wasteland this island, but I do play a Strip Mine if I want to dig for it. Or I could just play Mox plus Fetchland and threaten Bowmaster. Because if I Ancestral now, I have to discard a card if I don't draw another 0 in my deck, which there are quite a few with the baubles. Not that outrageous. I'm just going to go to my turn here. If nobody's playing Magic, I'm winning. That's kind of the conceit of this deck. Fire a Wasteland on that Underground Sea, let them burn off their blue, and pass the turn. A Brainstorm, Rutro, Orcish Bowmaster in response. I am prepared to pitch the Lorien reveal to fight over this untapped jam time twister. A daze. I will force the daze. This is aggressive, but like this is the spot. I'm going for it. Ooh, a Flusterstorm. Alright, they're gonna win this fight. Daze. Hate that card. It's a card you just always play around in Legacy, but in Vintage you have to like really sniff it out. Okay, opponent has passed the turn after brainstorming. Where's the Saga? I'm gonna Saga and then Ancestral myself right now. I can pay for a Flusterstorm or a Spell Pierce. They would have to misstep or force this, or I could just draw a bunch of cards. And guess what? I could still Bowmaster Time Twister after all that. Bowmaster. Fetching a response. Ping ya. Okay, do I send it into the deck that has already shown me main deck Flusterstorm? I have not currently cast a spell that can be flustered. I think I'm just going to wait. If they play their own Bowmaster here and kill mine, I'll be pretty bummed about it. Time Walk. Okay. Emergency Time Walk. And we're just into the other turn. All they did was Time Walk. If you have your opponent in a spot where they're just Time Walking to not let you untap one time, usually a good deal. Let's see what the payoff is here. Oh, we're Doomsday. That's fun. Sure, that resolves. I can Mental Misstep a draw spell if they try to get this train roll in, and then Time Twister just kills them on my turn. Let's see what happens here. I guess maybe with the Daze and multiple Underground Seas, I could have read the Doomsday. Like I said, Daze is a weird card in Vintage, and just seeing it out of a non-Lurrus blue-black deck, I think I actually could have deduced this if I was paying closer attention. Well, they do go to 8 off the Doomsday. Well, they must be planning to win the game this turn, because this Orcish Bowmaster is not going to give them another one if they draw a bunch of cards and then pass. 48 cards go to exile. Let's just take a little screenshot of what we can. And we've got an Oracle in exile. They play 2 of those. There's a Dress Down. It's just a bunch of normal looking cards. Let's do a force count, I guess. 1 Fluster, 1 Force, another Force. Oh, is their hand Force, or did they put 2 forces in their pile? Interesting. All right, well, let's find out together. We've gone to my turn. I can attack them to 6 without doing anything. Oh, that's bad for you. Okay. Anything I was worried about, I'm no longer worried about. They have exactly 7 cards between... Or no, they have 8. They have 8 cards between their hand and deck. So if my Time Twister doesn't kill them... Oh, but they go to 1. Okay. Yeah, I'm not decking them here, but I am jacking them up pretty hard. All right, Urza Saga will not be part of this game. Time Twister on the stack. I can Art cast Force Negation and Alt cast Mental Misstep to fight through this. If they force blue card here, they go to 7 and die. Okay. We did the spin. They've got 1 card left in their deck, which means they can Oracle me next turn. I don't know what they could have put in the pile to survive this moment right now, but here we are. And I have Spell Pierce plus Force, and all I gotta do is get 1 of these through in combat. We did it. Cool. Oh, okay, they said in the chat, I won't scoop for the channel. They're laying up the content. But yeah, they were dead. Okay, Doomsday. This matchup feels kind of insanely good, just on the surface. There's not a lot of sideboard for it, and for that reason, I can see the 2 Mindbreak Traps being an argument. This deck slows things down to the point where you could just cast this anyway for 4 mana. I gotta respect Shouldered or some kind of juke like that, which is awkward because Fatal Push is the card I would like to cut. Repeal kind of sucks here. The Fatal Push, awkwardly, is my best answer to a Shouldered if they're on some pivot. Having 1 in the deck to Demonic Tutor for versus just loading up on extra Mindbreak Traps. Alright. I don't care about Shouldered. They gotta get a game off me before I'm worried about every stupid thing they could have. That's the power of winning game 1. Ooh, this hand. This is a blue source away from being a keep. I don't think I keep on the strength of Mental Misstep. All again. Here we go. Force blue card, strip mine. Yep. What is... Oh, I can Saga, Soul Ring, Cycle, Lorien Revealed, and I don't actually need Underground Sea in the sand. Easy. Okay, let's party. If I need to force, I just lost my blue source, but it's okay. Urza Saga plus Soul Ring is a combo. All on its own. Preordain, go for it. Bottom, the Preordain. Love to see it. Okay, I can strip mine this island and then just try to waste time on everybody. That also helps me play around days, because if I go Saga Soul Ring here and they daze it, that sucks. I think the Wasteland follow-up actually kind of rules. I'm going to try to put them in the dirt. Gush is also a part of certain Doomsday piles. Just keeping them off 2 islands is not irrelevant. Underground Sea. That dies to Wasteland. Duress. Bummer. Yeah, that resolves. I just hope this Wasteland hurts them more than this Duress hurts me. Of course, if they just Black Lotus Doomsday right now, I am dead. I can actually see arguments for Soul Ring, Force of Will, and Lorien Revealed. I don't think they care about Time Walk, but the 3 other cards in my hand, all depending on what they're up to, could be powerful. Yeah, they took the Soul Ring. That makes sense. Okay, Wasteland you. This is the life I committed to. They did let me keep the Force of Will, though. That's a little spooky. Another Underground Sea. And a Preordain. They have survived the initial onslaught and continued developing mana. Top bottom that Preordain. The Orcish Bros, they did not see this island when they duress me. They know I have 1 mystery card right now, and they know the rest of these. Ponder. Chose to shuffle. Now I have a real choice. Cycling Lorien Revealed would let me Urza Saga Time Walk and then pass with Urza Saga Activation or Bowmaster. But then I'm out of blue cards for Force. I think I am going to cycle this. Underground Sea in the grip. Come on, any blue card. Not a blue card. Famously, no colors at all on Urza Saga. I'm going to send the Time Walk. Because they know I have Force, and I have 3 mystery cards that could be blue. Shrug. Time Walk was good. This puts Urza Saga straight up to Construct mode. Oh, they did know about the Underground Sea, so there were 2 cards that could be blue. Now there's 3. And Saga is active. They can't just fart around forever. Fetching in the end step. And vamping. Okay. Vamp Tutor resolves. Whatever they need here, they have it. I hope my early mana denial worked, and they had to vamp for, like, some land. We did see a dress down in their pile. I did call that out as kind of weird in your Thassa's Oracle deck, but I guess it makes sense when you're battling against Urza Saga decks all the time. I am not going to tap out and make another construct when they just vamped and I know they play dress down. I found my blue card. That's good. Yeah, I can get Bobble for a redraw here. I can Lotus, get and play Lurrus, and then replay Lotus, which also represents Bowmaster. Alright, yeah, I'll put Lotus into play and fire another Saga in. I would like to play around Days. Grab Lurrus, black, play Lurrus. It could dress down in response, then I don't get the Lotus. That would be a little annoying. Yep, they figured it out. Okay. I'm not going to fight over that. They're a busted combo deck, and I don't have any instant speed stuff in my graveyard to flash in the Black Lotus or the Soul Ring after the dress down clears. Found land number 3, it's not black. Mana number 4, it's not black. This is shouldered mana. Should that be their plan? But now I've drawn so many cards since they saw this Force of Will. Ray of Enfeeblement. White creature gets -4/-4. Mental misstep. I will do my 1-for-1 interaction with this. This is a cool card. It kills Lurrus or Bowmaster. Doomsday players always in the sauce. Ancestral over the top, gross. Oh, that was good bait. The best bait is the bait that also is really powerful. And they found their own misstep. I'm going to be empty with no love here. I do have a Saga ticking up and a Bowmaster in my hand, though. A Bauble. Okay. I'll play this Bauble. I would like to know what they are drawing. And I think the card is worth more than the points on Urza Saga. They're drawing Probe. I drew another Bauble. Alright, I'm going to Bowmaster in response to the Probe here. Once they know about it, it's too late. Gushing in response. Okay. And they found a Force. Yeah, they're over the hump. They've resolved multiple draw spells, and I haven't here. They cleared my Lurrus before it got to do anything. They're in a very good position to just smush me here. It did just burn off 2 floating blue, though, and pass the turn. I like that. Draw for my turn, Force of Will after they just looked at my hand. That's good. Get a construct, and it's so feeble. All right, yep. Well, that guy's gone. Do I want Bauble as a double redraw here, or Manifold Key, and just let Demonic Tutor be a GG button if I draw it? I think I'd rather refill my hand, actually. I can look at your top card and my top card. Thassa's Oracle going into the grip over there. Bauble from hand, Bauble me. Top card is Misty Rainforest. I do not want. Okay, I'll pass the turn. They're holding Oracle, and I have Force Blue card plus 2 fresh ones coming. And even though they resolved Ancestral and Gush, I still have the same resources as them. They have 1 more card in hand than I do, but until they played this land, we had the same number of mana-producing permanents in play. And they're a deck that needs to make things go right to win. All right, force this. I imagine they have a Fluster or some fight back here. Ooh, that just went in the graveyard. I like that. Holy smokes. I'm going to Wasteland one of their Underground Seas. That is 2 of those dead. I wasted 1 earlier, right? Yeah, so Ancestral myself. And just like that, we are not only caught up, but actively winning. We got the no in the chat, yeah. The corner's been turned here, and hitting 2 Mox in here means I can also Bowmaster with Spell Pierce up. That's the turn. Thassa's Oracle is on the stack. So Demonic Consultation can still present a win here. I will Spell Pierce that, and hope their last card in hand isn't Flusterstorm. Alright, the Consult is countered. We did it. They're down to 1 card in hand. They get 2 cards worth of selection here to the top of their deck. And we have seen days. I am just going to draw a card here. Urza Saga. I can 1-2-3, 1-2, or 1-2, 1-2. Okay. I'll wait. I can Heartcast Bowmaster and Force of Negation, or I could Bowmaster and Dig Through Time looking for a blue card to support Force of Negation. And if none of this other stuff happens, Urza Saga is ticking up. Okay. I think I just force this. Force of Neg. They are attacking. I'm not interested in triple blocking this, like pinging it and double blocking. Alright. Ping you for 1, you're at 9, attacking you to 7. The outs are closing. I'm still holding this Dig Through Time, just hanging out over here. I'm going to try to dig, because if I spike Time Twister, I just win. Dig Through Time. We got LOL fine in the chat. Yeah, and when you rewatch this later, Furcho77, they've been very friendly. Seem like a fan of the channel, but when you watch this later, you're going to realize that I just had it the whole time. Another Time Twister and another Bowmaster. Do I want another Bowmaster here, or do I want to Wasteland them? Have I played a land already? I forget. It doesn't matter. I guess I want Mox Jet then. Though if they counter this, I'd rather have Bowmaster. Alright, sure. I'll take Bowmaster, put these on the bottom in any order, and then just send the Time Twister. Or wait, I should attack first, make sure it's lethal. Because if I twist them up to 7 cards, and then they, like, remove or bounce my creatures, they could just win from a spot where I can never lose. Alright, here comes 7 damage. They're gonna need a, Veil of Summer? And we got the GGs in the chat. Yeah, that was a pretty powerful demonstration of this deck. Everything went right for them in the mid-game of this one. Like, they got a cool exchange. They Ancestraled over the top of my mental misstep. They gushed in response to a Bowmaster. Were able to keep the board clear. And then we blinked and we were just caught up. And then 1 turn later, we were ahead. Powerful stuff here. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is now available for pre-order through Coalesce Apparel and will release in early December. These will sell out and take time to restock. The holidays are coming up fast. Place your pre-orders for yourself and the BoshNRoll fans in your life today. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market, with awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll at checkout for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. I'm on the draw in round number 2. I have a Force of Will and a second land and a redraw. And interaction on turn 1, I'm going to keep. I do enjoy the comforting control play patterns of, does this hand die instantly? And if the answer is no, then you can keep it. Does this hand have any plan to make the game last longer? Yes? Okay. I'm in. They probe me, so now they know what I'm cooking with over here. Underground Sea. My own Underground Sea. That's interesting. I am going to bobble. And I think I just play my Scalding Tarn and bobble them. It's game 1. I don't know what they're doing yet. Vintage cards are so powerful that knowing even one card could change everything. Force of Negation. I know about that one now. Or an Underground Sea deck with Force of Negation. That doesn't narrow it down much. It could be any Tinker deck, could be another Doomsday matchup. There's no Lurrus, though. Okay, another Underground Sea. I do actually strongly suspect Doomsday again, now that we're here. And that Flusterstorm is a spicy little pickup if that's what's going on. I really hope they have Spell Pierce covered and just send a Doomsday right now, and then I get to BTFO them with Flusterstorm. And here we see this deck once again shaping up. Bobble, go straight to the graveyard. Fetch, fetch. That's 3 cards. That's 6 mana for this Treasure Cruise. If I Spell Pierce something and Time Walk into it, that's Treasure Cruise already, and now I'm pulling ahead on cards. If I cycle this Lorien Revealed, that's another 2 mana towards the cruise. This is all just don't die, and then draw cards, and you'll win eventually. Okay. Opponent drew a card, missed their land drop, and passed. I still haven't cycled this Lorien Revealed, so they know I'm going to hit my land drop. There's another one. I could Time Walk and then cycle Lorien Revealed, but I kind of like this Time Walk. I think I can do better with it if I wait a little bit. I will cycle one of the Revealeds this turn. Draw Go tends to favor the person who is hitting their land drops. Okay. I don't have a Bowmaster to chew this up. End step Brainstorm. Didn't cycle Lorien Revealed. They're redrawing one of these Brainstorm cards. If they had brainstormed a main phase, they could have had that fetch land already. So that makes me think they had something they'd rather do with 2 mana, maybe their own Bowmaster. Ancestral Recall. Okay, now me suspecting that they might have their own Bowmaster is extremely relevant. Fetching in the end step, this is shuffling it. The second Brainstorm card. Oh, a Tropical Island. Okay, you're not Doomsday. Are you just Bug with a really shitty start? What's going on over there? You are Bug with a shitty start. Fascinating. Okay. I think I'm going to Ancestral over the top of this Oko. Then I can force a Bowmaster and Spell Pierce the Oko, and they can't use this Force of Negation right now. Ancestral target me. They can have their own Fluster, then I'll have to Fluster back. That's a little annoying. It's only annoying because we're on Magic Online. It's totally fine in paper. Okay. That happened. Now, I found an Urza Saga, and I now suspect them to be a fully dedicated Wasteland deck. I could force this Oko, pitching a Lorien Revealed. I think that is in my interest, because any card I put in my graveyard here fuels the Treasure Cruise. I have my next land lined up. They forced me back, pitching Force of Negation. Now I can Flusterstorm their Force of Will. They didn't see the Fluster, they do know about the Pierce. Also, Fluster Wars, when one person has open mana, are just super weird because you just, like, pay for 2 of the 7 Flusters or whatever, then your opponent still has to pay 2 at the end of the stack. Okay, Oko is handled. They're down to 3 cards in their hand. I'm about to reload again. I think they made it pretty clear they don't have Orcish Bowmaster. Either that or they were trying to play around Spell Pierce, and by the time it came back around, it was too late. Strip Mine is tempting. I'll start with a Bobble. What do you got? Bobble, yeah. Island. Alright, Strip Mine less tempting now. Knowing that they already have 5 mana sources and they're drawing another one, I'm not in a major hurry to attack that axis. Here's the Time Walk. Urza Saga is the type of thing that I would like to walk forward. And I can cruise here. I'm just going to keep fetching. I would rather delete lands from my deck than good spells. I have both Lurrus and Time Twister that care about my graveyard. Okay, I have to exile either Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, or Bobble here. The Bobble is the best thing with Lurrus, but I play more of those. And Lurrus is not how I'm spending my mana in the next couple turns. Neat. Found another Bobble immediately, rewarded. And I found a Bowmaster. Let's see what they think about that. Is this a daze deck? I really don't want to get dazed. I didn't give them a chance to daze me previously. I'm just going to keep my cards coming. They're not getting a turn right away. I'll look at my top card, even though I'm about to draw it, and 2 other ones. Urza Saga on top. I guess if they daze me here, that doesn't even hurt that bad. I'm just going to shove the Bowmaster. I'm about to draw 3 cards, take a second turn in a row. Go ahead, flush out the daze. Set yourself back a land when you're about to draw another one. Oh, shit. Well, I wasn't ready for this one. They're about to flash an Atraxin over the top. Oh, it's Oath. It's Oath. They got me. I was talking a lot of shit. And they snuck something through. Okay, so they get to draw some number of cards here. They may or may not be useful. Oh, this looks like a pretty bad Atraxin trigger, actually. Woof. Okay. Bug with a bad draw. Or Oath that's trying to get something together. Makes more sense that it's Oath. Bug doing that little for that long. Okay, they kept Ruby, Oath, Beseju, and Fluster. Okay, well, it's my plan to twist these hands away anyway. So, opponent is dead for Xaxes right now. That's lucky, because I did walk right into that. And that explains the 2 mana they left up on the turn that they could have brainstormed. I said they had a 2 mana thing, and I just read it as Bowmaster, but it was actually Flash. Good information to have. But now they're tapped out into my Spell Pierce, and I think they're just freaking dead. Urza Saga, Mox Jet, and 7 upstairs puts you to 8, and then I attack for 9. And you have 1 mystery card, and I know that I can Spell Pierce it. Swoop. Yeah, vintage cards are so sick. In Legacy, the turn would end here. Just easy mode with these Power 9 cards. Force of Neg. Pitching the Fluster. I will Spell Pierce that, which you knew I had. And now your hand is 2 mana sources and a green enchantment. And I'll light you up here. Fresh 7, but I have Ancestral, and I can hardcast this Force. That flash was a mistake, for sure. I did not need to let that happen. But, turns out, scoreboard. I'm going to bobble them now, just in case I can see another card. Okay, they're drawing flash, but they're dead. So it doesn't matter. I can even Ancestral them for another 6 damage if I need it, but I don't. Cool. Alright, got away with that. A pretty lackluster Atraxa trigger, but I'm not sure what the Atraxa could have triggered into there that would have been a huge deal. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage comes in. Soul Rend does kill Atraxa. Fatal Push is definitely coming out. Grafdigger's Cage is the very obvious one. Repeal can bounce an Oath, or a Spirit Token and draw me a card. Are there even any stinkers left in the deck? And having some Soul Rends that could pick off an Atraxa and just clear the launchpad doesn't seem horrendous. But also, I could just not cast Bowmaster and then navigate the Oath. Alright, I'm just hitting submit, 1 card change. Soul Rend can wait. I feel like the Soul Rend would be overboarding, which is always a problem you gotta think about in Magic, not just Vintage and Legacy, but all Magic. If you just bring in any card that could possibly ever find a target, but you're taking out good cards, you might hurt yourself more than you help. Bug with a bad draw. Come on, man. Get it together. Okay, so in round 1, that Daze out of the blue-black deck should have tipped me into Doomsday, and then the super slow start 5 mana Oko should have tipped me into Oath. It could have been Bug with a bad draw, but Bug would not have kept that hand. Okay, I can fight over an Oath and waste an Orchard here. I'll keep. I also have the hard part of my combo in my hand. They had the Probe again, so they know. If they start putting spells on this deck, they know they're going to work. Tropical Island pass. Yeah, this is actually really interesting, because they saw the Wasteland. If I just waste them, I mean, they didn't see the Wasteland before they kept their hand, this could just send them back. Or I might want the Spell Pierce to help fight over stuff. I'm going to lead on Bobble. And I'd like to see what they're drawing. Their own Spell Pierce. Alright, that's annoying. I think I just send the Wasteland here. Yeah, they didn't even float mana. They're like, yeah, you got it. Okay. Denying them mana when they're about to draw a 1 mana spell that helps protect their thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, just pass it. And I drew another Wasteland whenever they do find their next one. Island, go. They kept a 1-lander on the strength of Gitaxian Probe and the other 5 cards. Would they sandbag an Orchard? I don't think so. Like, you still just make your land drop, even if you don't want to use the land. Uh-oh. They found a trop. That's so unlucky. Blammo. Man, vintage players, they're just like, nope, don't want to play this one anymore. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I have a hand with a ton of protection in it, and Lurrus is always action in this deck, so I will keep this. This has turn 1 Flusterstorm plus Force, and then turn 2 Hardcast Force is available. And I don't even have to tap out of the Flusterstorm to add the Soul Ring. It's pretty cool. Opponent's on 5. If they're a bizarre strat, I'm not really set up for that. My cards resolve very quickly. I'm a little worried. I don't think I put Lurrus in hand here, because leading on the island means I can't even cast Lurrus next turn. Bizarre strat confirmed. What's the flavor? Actual Dredge. Yikes. A Hollow Boy. I could force this. Maybe I should force this. Force. Pitching. Force of Negation. I just don't think that Force is going to find many better targets here. Now I'm way behind. The thing I was excited about, I am now worried about. Demonic Tutor, though, is whatever I need it to be. DT for Time Twister. I could actually send it here, which functions as Graveyard Hate. But they already have the Bazaar in play, which I'm worried about. But I do like the idea of maybe resetting this game and giving me a fresh boat of cards to work with. They could have Force of Will, and Dredge is allowed to play cards like that too. I had to play my land already. Wastelanding them actually would have been pretty decent. I don't have a Saga ticking up, or else I would get the Time Vault here. I think I just twist her and send it on a prayer here. Okay, Gitaxian Probe. The DT's back. Alright, how'd you do over there? Show me your hand. Alright, a bunch of random shit that doesn't matter in the hand. Oh, nope, JK. Force of Will and Force of Negation. I'm just like, yeah, they got nothing. Nope, actually, just specifically the cards that matter most in their hand. I understand. Okay, Mistress Bauble. I'll look at the top of this deck as well. I'm going to have to overtax these forces. I do have the DT and the Ancestral, if I can get my way working forward here. Long pause on this Mistress Bauble. No way you just force this. What's going on? They must have just went AFK. They're not thinking about anything here. There are no Dredgers in their hand, importantly. They do get their draw step plus Bazaar activation, so 3 more cards. Mental Misstep, freaking annoying. This Ancestral is going to stay chilling, it seems. But, again, not a Dredger. The Time Twister for emergency Graveyard Hate. Their upkeep Bazaar Baghdading, because if this is 1 fewer card they see to find a Dredger, but if they find one, they can dredge in their draw step. Chill Icarid are discards there. Okay, Spell Pierce is a good find. That helps me fight over my important cards. And I think Lorien Revealed is better as Lorien Revealed and as a blue card than it is as anything else here. Okay, so if I Bowmaster, you have to exile a black creature card for Icarid. They have Force of Will, Force of Negation, and Mental Misstep over there. Well, the Bauble's a freebie. I'll start there. What's on top? Another Icarid. I can't DT for Twister because it's already in my graveyard. I think we're just going to go to their turn. And I'll draw for the Bauble. They'll activate Bazaar in response. I'll start a Bowmaster fight, and then we'll see where the dust settles here. I don't know if they even care about Bowmaster, actually. But it is a pretty big creature, and a bunch of damage. Force of Will pitching Narcomoeba just happened. Then I can Spell Pierce this, which they can Misstep, which I can Ancestral over top of. Okay, there's all those things. Can't force a negation here. I did not find anything that's going to win this fight for me, but I got the Ancestral through. And now their Bazaar activation, still no Dredgers, but they did find a Prized Amalgam, which Icarid will trigger. They can exile an Icarid, bring back Icarid, trigger Amalgam. And they are making forward progress here. And there's still a Noxious Revival in their hand if they need to suddenly pick up that Force of Will. Plenty of lands here, still holding on to my Lorians. I would love to draw a Time Vault or Voltaic Key. Or a Manifold Key. Voltaic Key is programmed for life in my Boomer brain. Another bauble. Looking at my own top card doesn't matter here because both of the lands I can play are shuffle effects. I don't actually have manipulation here in any meaningful way. 1, 2, 3 puts Lurrus in hand. 1, 2, 3 casts Lurrus. I can Demonic Tutor and have 1 mana open when I Lurrus here. What am I even DTing for? I could also just play Bowmaster right now. That's probably the one. Mox Pearl does cast Lurrus. I gotta keep that in mind. I can keep up my blue-black mana. Bauble you again. What's coming? Oh, another Force of Will. Alright. I guess it's now or never on this Lurrus. We're in there. Gonna fetch and play Bowmaster. Well, play Mox Sapphire and then play Bowmaster. I think the creature on board and the damage is worth more than the 1 extra card off a bauble here. Okay. I have a board presence. If they tap Bazaar, my Orc army will be able to tangle with Prized Amalgam. I believe I'm just going face with all these triggers. They discarded Grief, Narcomoeba, and Noxious Revival. They have Force Blue card now. The Noxious Revival's finally gone. They still haven't found a Dredger in 16 cards. Send it. Yeah, they're done. Okay, cool. Beat Dredge in a game 1 somehow. And now the sideboard comes in. Tabernacle Cage, Needle for Bazaar, Soul Guide Lantern, all pretty obvious stuff to come in. Fatal Push can chill. They are Force Dredge. I still don't think Force Negation's where I want to be. Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm beat just all their spells because they don't have a ton of mana in their deck, if they have any at all. All my Wasteland effects are good against the deck built around a single land. Repeal can go, and I do care about their hand with Gitaxian Probe because they're the Force build. I could shave a Lorien Revealed or one of the Delve spells. I think it's a Lorien. The Delve spell's got to be better than that. Okay, let's do it. And stealing game 1 from Dredge always feels so good. Oh, Grave Hate Time Twister. Okay, I have 2 ways to challenge Bazaar on turn 1. And they powdered their first 7, and then kept 7. Okay, I'm also going to keep. They do get at least 1 Bazaar activation here. There it is. They wouldn't keep a hand without it. Activate right away. Discarded 2 Dredgers and an Amalgam. Alrighty. I think I should Needle this Bazaar rather than waste it, because Bowmaster getting added to the board is actually relevant to me. And I need 2 lands to do that. Bauble your top card. Force of Vigor. Annoying. But I have the Force of Will that I was prepared to dedicate to this project. Okay, they Force of Will, pitching Force of Will. I Force of Will, pitching Lorien Revealed. I want to at least buy the turn here, where they have to Force of Vigor, come up with a green card to do it. Alright, Bazaar of the Bagfather. I get a redraw here. Hope they don't have a green card, and fingers crossed. But they dredge the Force anyway. Right, Dredge. That's the name of their deck. Force of Vigor in the bin. Get out of here. Okay, multiple Wastelands, multiple Orcs. They dredged an Icarid. End step, I'm going to deploy an Orc. Bang ya. And they are actually out of Dredgers. That was the 2 that the Bazaar discarded, and there are none left. I would like to invest this Wasteland and use Lorien and Brainstorm to move my hand around. Attack with my stuff. They can pop Icarid here. Oh wait, my deck is full of colorless Graveyard Hate. I need to Brainstorm now. Wish I had not played my land. If I lose this game, it's my own stupid fault. Alright, the Scalding Tarn can go back, and the... Don't really... Or Mox Pearl can put Lurrus in my hand. I'll actually take the Urza Saga. And then Mox Pearl grab Lurrus here. and pass the turn. That was bad. Or it could have been done better. It's not like the game just ends here, but they do get to trigger 2 prized amalgams. I was thinking about a long-term game, forgetting that I have, 4 or 5 0 or 1 mana ways to interact with Dredge's Graveyard here. Alright, the amalgams trigger. The Icarid is out of food. Yep, okay. There's your big O's. But I can just, block ping, send it back again every turn with Lurrus. Okay, yeah, they're just conceding to Lurrus here. Okay, I had a potent piece of Bizarre Hate, I had Force Will to protect it, and then they just didn't do anything. Neat. Let's go, 2-0 Dredge. If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event. I'm on the play in round 4 with the exact opposite to the hands that I've had so far. So far, I've been prioritizing, let's make this game last longer. This is a hand that ends the game quickly. I am going to keep this for science. I'm going to bobble them and see if they're a deck that I just want to shove against, or if I want to pump the brakes a little. Up the Beanstalk, okay. Well, I would like to put Manifold Key onto the stack before they draw a card when they force it. Okay, another land, not really what I'm looking for. Flooded Strand. Island, Emerald, Beanstalk, there it is. I think my plan here is to just play Urza Saga and make them deal with that, and then surprise them later. I'm not going to just put Time Vault into a possible Force of Will, Commandeer, whatever situation. Drawing 2 lands since keeping this land-heavy hand is rough, too. Alright, and they got a Wasteland. Tough crowd. Can I draw a spell? Orcish Bowmaster, ideally. Preordained from the Peanut Gallery. Bottomed the Preordains, both of them. Sheesh. Alright, I'll play another Underground Sea and pass. If I just have enough lands in play, I'll eventually draw... There's Wasteland, sure. I'll eventually draw a Preordain, or a Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, Force of Will, something that helps. Little do they know how ineffective this Wasteland strategy actually is against me. At this time. Your boy is gassed up. This Dig Through Time could send it in the near future. Gitaxian Probe, shit. Now they know. Now they know they can never put their shields down. And Gitaxian Probe's a bummer. Remember when we could just put 4 of these in normal decks? In Standard and Legacy and Modern? You could just do that shit. Wild. Lavinia. Sucks to suck me. That means that Force of Will doesn't work, and this Dig Through Time is just never getting cast. What I can do, though, is put Lurrus in my hand. Here is Lurrus. An opponent... I guess they have not missed a land drop. They wasted me twice, and then they fetched last turn. And then with Lavinia... Even if my Lurrus does miraculously resolve... Oh, dear. Alright, they've treasure cruised and got a bonus card off of the Beanstalk. Even if my Lurrus does miraculously resolve, I can't play Mishra's Bauble with that. They have to go to cleanup here. Orcish Bowmaster is actually pretty nice. If they force a negation my Time Vault, then my primary win condition's gone. If they force a will it, it's just in the bank for Lurrus later. I'm going to send it. Just, here we go. I can double spell here, and this is not getting better. And I can Bowmaster Lavinia in response to this Beanstalk trigger. Pingo, Lavinia. Swords of Plowshare is a pretty nice one. That means Lavinia is going to survive. But I at least put the pressure on her. And Time Vault is where Lurrus can go get it. Ancestral Recall, Jesus. Alright, yep. They are over the hump. I said when I kept this hand, this is the opposite of what this deck's trying to do, and we are seeing it play out in real time. Lavinia is attacking. I am accepting. Ethereal Forager, gross. This card is such a dummy. It's got Swords of Plowshares, Force of Will, and Ancestral Recall under it. And I can't even draw a Mox to accelerate the paying here because it doesn't work. And I have to pay for this Gitaxian Probe like a freaking barbarian. Their hand is Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Lavinia. Oh, yeah, we're cool. Alright. I kept a hand against medical advice and was punished for it. I think the Fatal Pushes are good for the Lavinias, or I guess Soul Rend is just better. The same shit, but I draw a card. And it costs more, but these games are going to drag. I don't think Force of Negation is where I want to put my energy here. Repeal seems kind of mid. I think this is fine how it is. Alright, I'm going in like this. It's cool that cards like Soul Rend and whatever that white shitter, or that 1 mana thing out of Doomsday was. It's cool that cards like that are finding homes in Vintage. I am going to keep here. This is a hand with interaction and a plan, which is the opposite of my hand last game, which was a whole plan but no interaction. Spell Pierces Black Lotus. When to fight over a Black Lotus is like one of these Vintage skills. It's like offsides in soccer, where it's like you'll know when you see it, but you can't explain it. And in this spot, the things that would come out of this Black Lotus, I probably can't Spell Pierce. I'd love a blue card here. Oh, sick. Let's see if getting into the Wasteland game is something that's worth doing for me. This might be a giant miscalculation, but if they fought over the Lotus and then lost the land, and they didn't do anything with the Lotus, Monastery Mentor, Force of Will, that, please. They forced me back. Better now than after the Mentor's in play. 2 cards in their hand, but Caracas for mana. Repeal. That can clear some Monk tokens. Hope they're not sitting on a Wasteland over there. That would actually be super shitty. Tilt, 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 tilt. Opponent heard me. It's fine. They have a Grey Ogre in play for now, until they find some spells. And I have Demonic Tutor in my hand. Do I Demonic Tutor for Soul Rend? Is this the world we live in? Alright, Demonic Tutor. And I could just get Ancestral, reload myself here. They pitched their Mental Misstep to Force earlier. They'd have to force to fight over that. I could just get the Soul Rend, answer the problem here. I'm going Team Ancestral here. This is friggin' Vintage. Act like it. Okay, passing the turn. Mox Pearl. Son of a biscuit. It is not the Sapphire, though, which is the one that would have really worried me. A draw per turn. I drew the Soul Rend anyway. Let's just clear this board and worry about Ancestral next turn. Rend the Mentor. Destroy target white creature and draw a card at the beginning of the next upkeep. They're plowing their own Mentor in response. This means I don't get to draw a card next turn, and they get an extra Monk. Clever. I could... Or yeah, now there's nothing they could have that stops this Ancestral. And I can just repeal these Monks next turn, or pick them off with Bowmaster, whatever. Soul Guide Lantern is on top of your deck. That is a Prowess trigger and a redraw. There it is. They probably take the Bauble here, because that's the easiest thing to cash out with Lurrus. Yep. And now I stabilize. At a healthy 9 life. They are drawing a card now. I would have done it pre-combat, but that's just me. Okay. I should repeal first, because that one will draw me a card and might affect my decisions. I'm going to play the Orc before I play the Mox Emerald, in case Mindbreak Trap is in their hand. And we've achieved stability. Mox Emerald, get in there. Okay. They have 3 cards in their hand, and only white mana to play with, and they're done. Cool. Okay, seeing Monastery Mentor on top of the Lavinia, maybe I should just read that all the time. Soul Rend, number 3 coming in. Once again, we see the success of a reactive hand rather than one that tried to shove. Bluster Pierce, I like all that stuff. Bant Beanstalks with Mentor, huh? This is a cool deck. It doesn't seem very good, no offense to anyone, but it is cool. I appreciate it. Where am I putting Soul Rend number 3? Do I cut a Fatal Push, or do I just want this critical mass of black removal? Have we seen a non-white creature? We saw Oko, who makes green creatures. Maybe I shave a Lorien Revealed. Okay, I'm just gonna do that and not cut my Fatal Push. Oof. This hand is very close to being good. I hope they don't turn 1 Lavinia me, or else I just lose on the spot. Okay. Oh, Black Lotus. Among the best draws there could be. Gitaxian Probe, target you. Don't show me anything good. Nothing that interacts with me here. The Swords to Plowshares could play, but not well enough. We've got Ethereal Forager up the Beanstalk, Gush, 2 Lorien Revealeds. This is not even good. Alright. How do I leverage this? This is a good position. I think I start with an Ancestral Recall. Max Sapphire and Ancestral target me. I would like to know if I have more lands coming to support this Urza Saga. I do, in fact. Urza Saga, Soul Ring, and if I pass the turn here, they're going to cycle for another land, then they'll tap out for Beanstalk, and then I have a turn to do all this other shit. I could also Black Lotus Time Walk here. That doesn't even seem good, though. I'm going to play the Black Lotus and pass. I think I get more out of my Time Walk if I use it next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to pass with Force Backup, and their hand currently not very good. Cyclorian revealed. Gets Tropical Island. Trop will play Beanstalk. Oh, Preordain. Emergency change of plans. They realized I'm going broken and they're not. Good call. Bottomed both of those. Played the Trop. They can't cast the Swords. Another Preordain. There's a lot of looks for Force. If that is what they were looking for. Top bottom. Found something they like. And they can Emergency Gush. Okay, we go to my turn. Mox Emerald. Colorless mana, but more mana I'm not going to complain about. Mox. And I can get a black source into play here. If I tap Soul Ring, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I could just Time Walk, activate Urza Saga, go into my next turn. I think I want to start by doing that. See if they fight over that. Time Walk, activate Saga. This is just a shitload of damage right off the bat. I don't need to put Lurrus in hand now because it'll just... Like, sacking Black Lotus to do that now versus next turn is the same thing. And draw for turn. Make another construct. Tutor. Mox Jet does complete the puzzle here. Mox Jet. They're in a position where they gush. They're just not even playing this game because they're 2 lands behind versus 14 power. I play my Underground Sea and cast my Bowmaster. Anything they think they're going to do to get out of this game, I hope the Bowmaster just shuts down. And then I can do Lurrus right now. It gives up on a Saga token, but I think putting Lurrus into play is just completely messed up here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, sorry, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, Lurrus, spend the colorless, Lurrus, refire the Lotus, and pass. Well, bash for 7, and then pass with all this and Force Backup. This is some serious pressure for what is ultimately my second turn. I Time Walked, so it's turn 3. Yeah, okay. Nice. It is important to me to go broken in a Vintage deck, or at least have the capability of going broken. And as fair as this deck is, that was pretty messed up. Turns out when you have Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, and Time Walk all in your opening grip, some cool stuff can happen. On to... This was round 4, wasn't it? Yeah, the opponent had the audacity to take a game off me that I probably should have mulliganed my hand in, but we got a trophy match coming. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is now available for pre-order through Coalesce Apparel and will release in early December. These will sell out and take time to restock. The holidays are coming up fast. Place your pre-orders for yourself and the BoshNRoll fans in your life today. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market with awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll at checkout for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. I am on the play against the Power 9, known Vintage, Grinder, and Expert. Force Blue card and Orcish Bowmasters, I will keep this. Power 9 has been experimenting with Beseech the Mirror shells lately. He does tend to favor heinously busted stuff. He designed the deck that I won Eternal Weekend with the year that I won. We'll see what's going on here. I might just get completely outmuscled and put in the trash, or this force into Bowmaster plus Wasteland could cause enough disruption to move this game forward. We'll find out together. Opponent did not reveal Lurrus. As far as I'm concerned, the only reason not to Lurrus in Vintage is Bolas' Citadel. And if that card's not in your deck, just cut all your other permanents and play Lurrus. That's how I feel about that. Ruby, C, Time Walk, go ahead, take a spin. That's not my pressure point. Watery Grave, oh baby. This is a deck where 4 Underground Seas was not enough. I don't believe that the deck would be Death Shadow. I think it is actually just a deck that needs 5 Underground Seas. Alright, well, Tinker with mana open is terrifying. Force this. Forcing me back. Probably dead here. Did use the land drop to get to this point. Bolas' Citadel could whiff, but it looks bad. Force pitching Fluster. Okay, you get to Tinker. Yeah, the Dark Ritual first. It makes hitting land off Bolas' Citadel and the turn, which appears to be what's happening here, but it plays around Spell Pierce, which is a thing smart players would be doing here. I'm going to bobble myself and just see what I've got coming. Mox Sapphire, that's not helpful in this spot. I think I just face up my Bowmaster, try to reduce my opponent's life total, and hope we can weather this storm, literally. Dang ya. Okay. Let it ride. 16 life. 2 Wastelands in my hand. Opponent no longer spending mana on stuff. Doesn't matter. Time Vault. Yikes. Dark Ritual. Mystical Tutor. Well, we're probably dead here. It's hard to mess this up from here. If you can put whatever you want on top of your deck, then you can cast the top of your deck. Demonic Tutor on top, and you get Mana Vault, or you have Time Vault. I meant you get Key. Manifold Key and Time Vault have formed together in my head to create the word Mana Vault, which is a different card. Which, if that is what my opponent tutored for, I don't know what's going on. Okay, I said in the chat, sorry, I gotta play it out till I see a win con. I believe that has one, but I need to know what it is. Ancestral, repealing my Bowmaster just unlocked the gas, and is this a Tendrils deck? Is this an Urza Saga deck? Alright, Vamp Tutor, we're gonna find it. Tendrils it is, okay, cool. GG. Alrighty, Fatal Push coming out. Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage stops Bolas' Citadel. Mindbreak Trap, pretty good against Tendrils of Agony strategies in general. Oracle's Recall is interesting. It is a really ugly, awkward answer to a Bolas' Citadel, but any answer to Bolas' Citadel is worth considering. This is a great matchup for the Flusterstorms and Spell Pierces. All the forces are important. I am bringing in 3 blue cards. I could shave on Lorien Revealed, repeal. I'm not spending 7 to repeal a Bolas' Citadel, that's for sure. Oh, removal's out. The ORCS is the last weird one. I could bring a Lorien Revealed or repeal back in over Hurkyl's Recall if I don't think this is where I want to be playing this game. They're both blue for the forces. Being a land versus answering Bolas' Citadel, kind of. I don't think that's it. I'm going to bring the Lorien Revealed back in, and let's go. Against the wall to defend the trophy here. I would like to play first, reveal my Lurrus, and I will keep this hand. It's like a hand with Ancestral Recall in it. That's a joke, but I do have Force Blue card and Flusterstorm. Bauble, take a look. Dark Ritual. A Bauble. I'll take a look at my own deck. That's a joke. There's a Lorien Revealed on top, and I don't think a third draw is that important. I could see another card if I bobble on opponent's turn. I'm delaying velocity to gain information here. Okay, bobble you. Underground Sea on top. Do I cycle Lorien Revealed here? Yes. I still have Force Blue card, and this way, if my Soul Ring gets Mental Misstepped, I'm not just freaking dead. Wasteland, I like that. Flusterstorm, I like that too. I think I just Underground Sea pass here. Fluster, Force is the truth. I can invest in the Soul Ring next turn, or I could just waste them, or like whatever I think I need to do here. That shuffle just cleared the Underground Sea that they were going to draw, but then they tutored for one anyway. I still know there's an Underground Sea. Good information. There's the sea. And passing the turn into another sea. Could go for Wasteland here. I could Soul Ring, put Lurrus in my hand here. I think Underground Sea Soul Ring is how I'm going to play this. And do I want Lurrus now, or do I want her next turn? I'll take her now, actually. That sets up getting the Bauble loop going and drawing 2 cards a turn and pushing damage, which mean, if we give this Storm deck infinite time, they're going to be able to beat whatever. I wish I hadn't passed into my second main before putting Lurrus in my hand. That kind of indicates I could have done something else there. End of turn, cycling another Lorien. Another Underground Sea. 8 cards in hand, we know 2 of them. 7 in hand, we know 1 of them. There's the sea. If I'm able to untap here, I'll feel pretty good, but right now I do have some concern. Okay, opponent just passing, thought about it for a minute, and then sent it. Gataxian Probe, you have no secrets from me. Do I want to play the Wasteland? I could Wasteland, cause a mana float, move to second main, then see how things look with the Probe. It Wasteland you. You Gush in response, that's 2 lands gone instead of 1. Okay, I'm just gonna pass through the mana here. Oh, something's happening. Dress down, annoying. Alright, well, Lurrus is sleepy for the turn. But now I don't have to pass through phases. I can probe, see what's cooking. Mana Crypt, Time Vault, Dark Ritual, Force, Time Walk, Hull Breacher, Flusterstorm. And Hull Breacher's a dick. You will win the fight if you Hull Breach, Force, Fluster. No, I have Mind Break Trap at the end of it. I can just invest Lurrus here, just get her in there. Versus holding up double Fluster. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna play Lurrus. I know she doesn't work now, but, I mean, still a 3-2. And threatens future activities. And maybe we end up getting a fight now. Can I win a fight now? Uh-oh. So you lose one of these other blue cards if you force here. And every one of these blue cards is something I care about. Force Pitching, Time Walk, that was the worst one. Opponent knows how Vintage works. That sucks. If I fluster, you fluster. And then I can force your force over the top. And I have Mind Break Trap going into your turn. But that doesn't answer the Hull Breacher, which you do have. Oh, I have a mana floating. I actually get to win this fight. All right, fluster your force. Like, if opponent flusters back here, I just pay for one of the copies, and then that leaves 1 that must be paid for on the Force of Will. Yeah, it just understands how this works. And Lurrus is in, burn off my mana. This Hull Breacher's still a problem. But they have to use, unless they draw a land here, have to use Mana Crypt, that's 1. Hull Breacher, that's 2. And then I force, you fluster, I Mind Break Trap everything. There's Crypt, that's 1 spell. Saga, oh, that's good. I was just patting myself on the back for firing that Wasteland to make the Mana Crypt necessary. Force pitching Lorien, or is Fluster better? I mean, I'm dead very soon, so like this Urza Saga has me in check. Okay, Flusterstorm, let your triggers resolve. Mind Break Trap, exile everything. Dark Ritual, Time Vault is the hand right now, and Saga Tick Tick is a little concerning. They play Bauble from my graveyard. Bauble you. Please don't show me a Beseech Samir. Lorien revealed. Alright, well, I can fluster that if you dare to cast it. Bauble you again. I do just want cards now. Attack for 3. And passing the turn, I draw 2 cards in the upkeep. Spell Pierce, a good one. Mana Crypt is a win con, even if they do get Time Vault together. There's the Vault. Nothing worth Spell Piercing here. And I am in check right now. I need to draw Wasteland. Alright, check, come on, Wasteland, Strip Mine, something good. Time Walk, I'll take a Time Walk, absolutely. Bauble you from the graveyard. And his Dark Ritual Lorien revealed. Yogwill on top. If I attack, you have a 3/3, and then my Lurrus dies. It's not how this is going to go for me. Which is a shame, because if I was actually pushing damage here, that would make the Mana Crypt a serious problem. But instead, I'm just doing nothing. Okay, draw 2 extra cards. Come on, Wasteland. Force of Will, Wasteland? Shit. Oh, I'm in trouble. Bauble you. It's still a Yogwill. What a surprise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I attack with Lurrus, and I am dead here anyway, if I get the trade, then that's a construct they don't have. Might even smell shenanigans here and not even make it. Nope, definitely making it. Lurrus too good. Okay, so I need my opponent to lose to Mana Crypt at this point. I'm at 23 life. I have a handful of counter spells. Force negation, more counter spells. All right, Mana Crypt, do the work here. Lost the flip. You're at 9. Drawing Yogg-Will. You have Lorien Revealed, Dark Ritual, Yogg-Will in the hand. A 3/3 will become a 4/4, and then we will play it out here. Mana Crypt, not free. This is a lot of vintage games end in this fashion. Cycling Lorien Revealed, okay. A Watery Grave, we'll see that tapped. And fingers crossed, no good hits, and you lose most of your flips. Won the flip. That's basically free, just totally free there. And if they ever draw Tinker, I just lose because Tinker doesn't need to resolve for Mana Crypt to go away. Demonic Tutor, come on. Settle down over there. I will Force of Negation this. Yeah, that would have gotten maybe Tinker to just clear the Crypt. That's the safe thing to do. Like, there's probably a win you can put together with Demonic Tutor plus Yogg-Will here. But that makes a lot less sense than just answering your own Crypt to make sure you win with your 4/4. That's just already winning the game. Lose the flip. Lose the flip. Lose the flip. Come on. Oh, yeah. Down to 6. Gotta get 2 more through. I can take... Gotta hit me 5 times with this thing. And I got... On expectation, there's going to be 4 Crypt flips before this kills me. So even just on average, I'll win this game. But other stuff's going to happen, obviously. That repeal on my sideboard looks pretty good right now. Just planning out for game 3 if the Mana Crypt delivers. I have to watch out for this Dark Ritual we know is in the hand. There it goes. That makes my soft mission all a lot worse. What does Will do here? Will casts another Ritual. And maybe Lorien Revealed? It also plays another Urza Saga. I think I forced this pitching Pierce. And just hope that this was the big gambit. Okay. Time Vault's being activated. All my known information is gone. We're back to knowing that I need to get him with 2 Crypt flips here. Next flip, next flip. Lost the flip. 3, 3, 3. Okay. Fingers are crossed here. I go to 10. An Artifact is actually a huge draw here because that takes a whole Crypt flip out of the equation. Here we go. You got to keep doing it. Flip, 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 flip. Lose the flip. Take 3. Take 3. Fingers crossed. Oh no, won the flip. We're still playing. Hey, we're still on expectation. It's okay. It's okay. No need to panic. Here we go. Urza Saga. That doesn't change the clock. Time Vault. Here we go. Can we get back to expectation? 50-50. It's only fair. It's only fair. Come on. Let's go. Lost the flip. That's vintage, baby. And we get a game 3 out of that. Okay. Repeal comes in, or comes back in, I guess. It was in. I got rid of it. Or maybe Repeal doesn't need to be in. It does bounce the Time Vault in response to the first key activation and can buy me a turn. If I had just saved a Wasteland for a Saga, maybe that does enough that game, and then I'm just not worried about anything. I'm definitely not playing Fatal Pushes and junk. Forget about that. But Repeal is possible. Seeing Yogg-Will that game on top of Bolas the Citadel game 1. Feel good about the Grafdigger's Cage. What do I cut for this Repeal, though? It would probably have to be a Lorien Revealed. My blue count doesn't change. I'm an 18 land deck with all these Moxen as well. Like, I have huge mana resources for a vintage deck. Blue sources don't change. And my opponent's not attacking my mana. In Soul Guide Lantern, do I want this now that we've seen Yogg-Will in the mix? This is not a blue card, though. I'd have to either go down a blue card or... I mean, maybe Mishra's Bauble can just be Soul Guide Lantern. Same artifact count, but now one of them does something. Okay, I'm going to stop here before I overboard, but this is a plan. Oh, this hand is not it. If opponent's on a Urza Saga strat, this hand plays, but right now, no way. This is a turn 1 Bowmaster, or I could Time Walk. I could go Saga, Mox, Time Walk. Okay, I'm going to bottom Bobble and hope I don't get turn 1'd. Hope my opponent gives me the respect that I wouldn't just keep a hand with no interaction. and doesn't try to fire one down the cannon here. Mock Sapphire. Okay, just passing the turn. Looks like an upkeep Ancestral. Sure is. Okay, that resolves. A bonus Saga here. I can go Ruby, Sapphire. I guess I didn't need to play the Ruby. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to Time Walk. Flustering this would be tough. I mean, there's a bunch of interaction that does challenge this meaningfully. Shit. It's not fair when opponents know what they're doing and know how to apply pressure. Maybe I just don't Time Walk there. Is that possible? Okay. Opponent does have to kill me here, but has pretty good information that I'm not equipped to fight back, unless it's Mindbreak Trap, which I did show him last game. Mana Crypt. Oh no, this is Tinker mana. We're so dead. We're dead. Shit. Alright. It ends here. Maybe the Bolas of Citadel whiffs. Fingers crossed, but with a land drop to give, it's tough. Force of Will on top of the deck, like counter magic on top, actually does slow this down in a meaningful way. Beseech the Mirror off the top of the deck. Spending 4 life on that, sacking Mock Sapphire. If this doesn't result in a deterministic win, nothing will. So I'm pretty sure we are just dead here. Only thing that could save me is Mindbreak Trap, which I do not have and do not have access to. I could have gone to 5 here looking for actual interaction, but I think the Time Vault was a pretty good, or the Time Walk was a pretty good shot here. And now opponent can just play their whole deck at me. Okay. Most Vintage players in the Vintage leagues would concede here, and I am quite certain that I'm dead. But trophy's on the line, Eternal Weekend's coming. If my opponent doesn't actually have Tendrils of Agony on the stack, I am going to stick it out. Well, there's Time Vault. I would also scoop to Manifold Key at this point. Time Walk. All right. Saga. There's the land. Spin the top. The Mana Crypt was already tinkered away. All right, Tendrils, you got me. GG's. Okay, fended off in the final round by a Vintage expert. And I could have mulligan more aggressively game 1, just knowing what Power 9 has been into lately. I also could have mulligan to game 3, but I think my hand on power level was fine. We just got, like, Ancestral into Flusterstormed. I don't know. I mean, hard to know if that was a get vintaging or actually a bad keep. A 4-1 result, though. Respectable. In this deck, obviously, is very good. It's very good at doing the thing that it does, which is countering spells and eventually putting Lurrus in its hand. You even get to feel like you're going broken sometimes because you do have all 5 Moxen and Black Lotus, and then Bowmaster Time Twister is kind of a 1-2 in a lot of situations. This deck is not going to turn 1 anyone. Like, we didn't play against Shops this league. I don't know if, like, Shops on the draw, like when you have to be on the draw against Shops and they just play a Sphere, does this deck still work? And when you're on the play, you get your land and Moxen down first, but you're not capable of, like, Orchard, Mox, Oath, Pass, or just turn 1 Tinker. Not being a Tinker deck stresses me out. Obviously, this deck is good. I can fault no one for playing it. I might end up on it myself, but I'm still leaning more towards Oath or Breach, or even Power 9's Storm deck. Just something truly busted. Not fair that can go busted, but busted from the jump. It's generally what I look for in a Vintage deck. More to consider, though. In this entire Vintage series, I played a lot of Vintage decks lately, and I think I 4-1 or bettered every single league. Maybe the Budget Initiative one was not a 4-1, but the Budget Lands one was. It seems like if you play any reasonable deck and make good decisions, you can win most of your matches, which is a sign of a healthy format, but doesn't help me pick my deck for Eternal Weekend. This one's in the books. Here's this deck. Serial, thank you for the invitation to play it. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Get a BoshNRoll shirt from Coalesce Apparel. Check out my Patreon. All those things support the channel. I'll see you next time.